Well, YouTubers, it's got snow out there. I can't really do too much out there. So here I am making a movie in the basement of pictures and stuff from a long time ago. I was, let's see, there used to be these magazines. I don't know if they still have them anymore. I'm sure they do. I'm trying to get things in here as best I can. It was called, where is it? Where'd it go? Popular Mechanics. And in the back of Popular Mechanics, there were ads. This is before computers, if you can imagine it or not. Let's see if I can find, okay, here's, I thought I had the ads out. It must have been set in the other page. Anyhow, on the back of these things, I'm going to look for a minute. I'm not going to look too long. There's a big splitting mall. I had the pages marked, but they became unmarked. Here's one. Here's what got me started. Wood splitter. Okay, you know that's what you need to do, is make a wood splitter. And then here's a place called Northern Hydraulics. They're still around. I don't think. Oh, this one's Super Surplus. Yeah, they're still around. But I saw one for the Lickety Log Splitting Company, and this is, I'm just going to run through it real quick if you can, well, you can't see it here. This is a catalog from back around 1980. That's the date on the thing. Back in the olden days, before probably a lot of you were born, well, I don't know, people that watch this kind of stuff, yeah, you're probably around. You had to send away and ask for information on this stuff. There was no computer. Here's the old sales ad. And here, look, and they did another thing too. They wrote you back. See, look at that. Dear John, thanks for your interest. And then they gave you all the stuff. There's the date on it right there. 1980. Well, stuff prior to around then, that's about the time I got married, and a lot of the stuff went by the wayside. Here's another one I got. Everybody knows of this company. This one's dated, I can't find a date on that one either. Oh, on the back it's printed 92. Anyhow, that's some kind of the things. Well, Surplus Center is still in, and I'm still buying stuff from them. And that's where you kind of got the start on hydraulics and stuff like that. So I started putting my first wood splitter together. Let's see. There it is. Well, this is about the third run or fourth run of it. The first one started out with a power steering pump going through copper lines through a valve run by that. You know, there's not an electric motor in that one. Here's one with the electric motor on it. Running the electric motor, but it was running a belt to the power steering pump. The power steering pump, the belt started slipping as soon as I got into anything. So then my smart idea was change. This is before all this. This is way back. So then I put on a chain drive. The chain drive worked, but then it blew the copper lines apart, and I knew I was in trouble. So I found an old trash compactor. This place was just about given away. Later I got a couple of them. This is just other pictures. Electric motor. There's the pump out of the trash compactor. There's the reservoir out of the compactor. You can't really see the cylinder, but the cylinder's out of the trash compactor. The I-beam is $20 at the scrap yard back then. Here's from the other side. Here's with the electric motor on. I still have that electric motor on pack rat hoarder. Don't throw nothing away. Still have that electric motor. Still have that pump on that drive, and I still use it from time to time to just transfer oil at this point. There's the I-beam, no wedge. Just another picture of it. Well, that got to working pretty good, but then I realized the first wood splitter I had with a hydraulic or with the power steering pump, on a good day wouldn't split a pencil. So somewhere along the line I knew I needed to get a bigger engine. There's probably better pictures of it, but this is kind of in timeline. This on the back now, that says 77, but some of them say earlier than that. Old Jeep, but here it is. You can't really see it. That's the same cylinder, same back plate, Same thing. There's a wedge on it there, but it's probably only about 6 inches high. And one of these pictures coming up will show you. Okay, here it is. It's kind of in better shape. I can't get much better picture than that. But there's a twin cylinder Kohler engine underneath there. But I'm still running the same pump. Here it is. This is in the 70. Probably, let me see what the back of this says, 77 too. Back then, this is in the middle 70s. I hooked up with a guy named Skip, and he had access to tons and tons of wood. They were making a great big shopping mall, and they were just knocking all the trees down, and you could have anything you wanted. They just were getting rid of it. And so we'd rent a U-Haul. You can see the U-Haul here, and we'd go over and get rounds, and you could roll these great big rounds up the ramp, and then we'd come back and split them. Well, minimum wage back then was, I think, $1.60, and there were 3 of us involved. The guy that we were renting the trucks from, the guy Skip, and myself, and we'd go out on a weekend and get 3 cords of wood, bring them back in that U-Haul, and then split them. And we just roll the ramp right onto the bottom ledge of that splitter, and it worked pretty good. Anyhow, if you think about it, back then you got $100 for a cord of wood. That's more wood going in there, or maybe that was another day. I got no idea. It had been so many years ago. Anyhow, between the 3 of us is 3 cords of wood. So one third went to the U-Haul guy, 1/3 went to Skip, 1/3 went to me. Well, you'd make $100 selling a cord of wood. Well, that doesn't seem like a lot nowadays, but back then, like I said, minimum wage was about, I don't know, I know it wasn't $2 a gallon, or $2 an hour. I was making more than that. I was making good money. Here's some more split up a day. We went to a guy's house and just got a whole bunch of wood, and we're sitting there splitting it. See, this says December 77. There's still leaves on the tree, so it's a little deceiving. Nowadays, you take a picture and you're online in a minute on it. That's another picture going downhill. There's 63 Dodge Dart there, because you had to wait till your whole roll of film was done before you got it developed. So some of these things aren't done. This is my first wedge. Pushed it over after a short amount of splitting. This is the second wedge. I still had problems with the front of it. And somewhere along the line, I welded what's on there now is there's a piece of railroad track on there. And that railroad track has never failed me. Here's, I guess you can see it, the wedge is bent over there. And this one here is saying, this is April of 77. That might be pretty close because there's no leaves on the trees. So that might be pretty close. Here's a wood splitter I made for my dad. It was a little 2 horsepower electric. And it was so he could split kindling in his house. I'd give him the big stuff split. Here's another picture of it, just a little wedge up. And that thing was a nice little splitter. I don't remember what happened to it, but that was years ago. Here's a splitter I made. This one here was kind of strange. The guy wanted one. Didn't have strong hydraulics on his tractor, so we made a PTO with a jack shaft back to the pump so it was straight, and that would hold the alignment there. Here, this was the hydraulic tank. It went on the 3-point hitch so he could pick it up with his tractor. There was the valve, the wedge down there. Here's a couple more pictures of that one. I don't know what tractor I got there to try this thing. I don't know what it was. This was made in the early or late 70s. There you can see the jack shaft to the pump, and then the valve and the reservoir and all that kind of stuff. And that splitter's still being used today by a friend of mine. We made it for his uncle, and then when his uncle passed, he brought it back to his house, and he's still using that splitter. Then I copied that other electric one. Here's one that I made that's real nice for Uncle. I made this one for Uncle Will. Little cylinder. There's the tank, and high-speed axles instead of the other. 2 horsepower electric motor to a 2-stage pump. There's the wedge. And that one there, when Uncle Will passed, because he lived behind us, then my other neighbor's got it now. I don't know how he acquired it, but he acquired it. Here's a splitter with a big log in it. I think that wedge there's, I think 13, 14, I think it's 14 inches tall. Here's I needed more power because that one really doesn't have a whole lot of power, so that's when I started making this one, and that's the one you'll see in a few minutes. This has got the 5.5 inch bore cylinder. There's a 4-cylinder Jeep engine here driving it, and there's the governor to it. There's a pump all the front for the slow hydraulics because that was the lift arm and that kind of stuff. And then here's the let's see, there's another pump driving off the back. This was the control center there. I still got that, but it was too much to run that one. It was just too much. So here's the same splitter. This is the same splitter. Here's the thing that would pick up the logs and spin them around and set them on top, but I took all that off. There's the wedge. I think that one's got an 18-inch high wedge, and now I'm just powering it off the PTO unit of the tractor. We're running out of time. Here's another one, just splitting some more wood. Here's a way that didn't work for splitting big rounds. This just didn't work at all. It's just too daggone slow. There's a YouTube of this one doing that. Here's a wood pile. There's the wedge. You can see how it's a little higher here. That's where I added on the railroad part track. I'd bring the rounds in and put them here, then split them here, and then they'd go off into the Jeep. Here's another picture before there was a roof on that barn down there. Rounds stacked up go in. There's the Jeep there. Here's the Jeep getting loaded up with wood. That Jeep would hold a easy cord of wood. Had a 9-foot bed on it, and then if you had the tailgate down. Here's another picture of just the setup, which worked pretty good because I didn't have to, it went right into the Jeep, but the system I got now is a lot better. Here's, I guess, pulling it out, loaded up. There's wood there, wood there. Here's the old Jeep loaded up pretty good with wood. Oh, you know, that back one, I think this back one shows here when I started making boxes. So this is, there's no dates on these. So that's when I started making boxes. Now this is back in, I don't know if there's a date on this one. This one says 2000. So in 2000 is when I started weighing wood in the greenhouse. And here you can see some wood packed in the greenhouse. Too labor intensive, not for me. Now that we've done all that, I'm going to show you, because we just got snow, I'm going to show you some snow pictures. This is from a long time ago. This is my 69 Dart. If you can see a lump here and an antenna, and a lump here and an antenna, maybe I can't see the antenna. That's my 67 427 435 Corvette, and this is my 63 split window coupe Corvette under a big snow. Here it is. Here it is from the front side. You can see the two. I thought that was funny. Here's a big snow when the dogs were around. This is a big one when we moved in the new house there. I think that might have been a 3-footer. No, it wasn't a 3-footer. It was about a 2-footer. We've had a 3-footer since then. If it really gets bad, I'll bring out the snow blower. You can see the tractor there. But this snow here wasn't big enough. The reason I brought that out is because the snow, in the one movie I said something about the row of blue spruces. This was the row of blue spruces as you came up the driveway. And they were always just really pretty. I kind of missed them. And then to warm things up afterwards, we showed a movie of a bonfire. Can you see the bonfire here? This is to warm you up after the snow pictures. Anyhow, that's it for today. I'm going to put some more pictures together, and you might get pictures for a while because as long as the weather's not bad, but the conditions around the wood splitter are bad. The conditions around the sawmill, it's just too slippery. You just don't saw when it's like this because that's when you do get hurt. So it might be pictures for a while. See you later. Over and out. Oh, you got to go visit Back 40's live stream tonight if you're into wood splitting. He's kind of a crazy guy, but heck of a nice guy. He's got a real good channel. You want to see some splitting some wood, and you meet some other people. It's a real good place to listen to. It's Friday night. You can't go out because you're stuck in the house with COVID. What else are you going to do? Go watch the guy. He's good. Bye-bye.